What's up guys, welcome back to Bali. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. I'm going to try to have a different structure. If you guys like it, comment below, let me know. For now, it's time to get breakfast and it's going to be healthy this time. It's been kind of a review for the week. If you guys want to know how I do my reviews, just go check out my videos about it. I'll put the link below for you guys. Now it's time to go eat. I'm super hungry, so let's find a place again. Thank you. Looks so good. Now that it's getting pretty hot, I'll go inside and I'll do a market review for the week. It's going to be focused mainly on trading a daily chart, because you guys know that now I trade only the daily chart, which is much more relaxing. But I'll show you guys. Here we go. I have to stop for a juice, but back to the Forex review. I want to show you guys today a couple of things. And the first one is going to be a little bit how I'm going to trade this week, what I'm looking at. But the second one is going to be kind of a lesson. So how to distinguish what the market is doing right now. That's going to be very important. I want to show you guys the pairs I follow. I won't go through all of them because most of them are going to be redundant. It's going to be the exact same thing. But let's start with AUD/JPY. So I have a trade on this pair since a couple of, actually maybe 2 weeks or so. And it didn't move that much. As you can see, this is the first week I've entered a trade. We've had kind of a doji, whatever you want to call it, but not a big move. Second week, same thing. Third week, yeah, some move, but we came back. So it's kind of really sideways, right? That's what it means here. And usually the way I do it is I look at the face on the weekly chart, then go to the daily chart to trade or to place a new trade. These are again in the big range. I have two alerts, one down here at 0.72 and one up here at 0.78. There's also one here, I think, in the middle. But this is only for me to know, and on the daily chart it's kind of a good zone as well, but nothing big happening here. This is where it kind of gets a little bit messy to trade, and you guys are going to see that I do have kind of a line. I'm looking at 1.51, but it's kind of so messy on this pair that even though you trade this, right, could go even higher or could do something else. So it's not as clear as you would expect usually, and EuroCAD is pretty much doing the same. Although it's a little bit more clear that we have this range, okay, up and down, up, down, up. It's kind of clearer, but still, it's still difficult to trade anything here. And unless we get to those levels, right, there's no reason to be in a trade. There's no even a reason to think about entering a trade based on the RSI, technicals, or whatever. It's you wait for the alert. When you add the alert, then you can enter a trade. But other than that, before, there's no reason. EUR/JPY is very messy to trade, right? We've been kind of, I'm still not sure what phase we're in right now in this pair. It's been kind of a downtrend here. So we've been going down. Then we went consolidating, back up, down a little bit. Are we doing an uptrend or downtrend? I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see how the market will unfold in the next couple of days. And I have no interest to trade that pair for now. EUR/USD is again in the perfect sideways market on the weekly chart. Perfect if you want to trade sideways, right? It's great. If you wait on the daily chart, you wait for price to go to around 1.14 or back to 1.05. Those are perfect levels for alerts, and I'm still winning with that pair. But within those two limits, right, within those two zones, there's absolutely no reason to be in a trade. No reason to think of entering a trade because it's just too choppy. There's no reason to trade trends or sideways. It wouldn't make any sense. And you guys will start to catch a pattern in all these things. And the patterns are following. That the first thing I do whenever I look at the market is going to be to identify what zone we're in. Usually on a high time frame. So I'll go either, now because I trade the daily chart, I'll go in the weekly chart. Identify the zone that we're in, whether it's going to be sideways or trending. And then I'll look at the zones I want to trade. right? That's going to be very important. But most of these pairs that I've been showing you guys so far, they're pretty much all sideways. So the same process is going to be repeating itself over and over again. It's going to be, you look at the range, you identify the range, identify the two levels, place an alert at the high, place an alert at the low, right? The main levels we're talking about. And then you wait. When price comes back to a certain level, like this one here, on this nice drawing, then you can look to trade, right? Usually here you're gonna either wait for the breakout, which would mean a move higher. But now since it's still sideways and still consolidating, I would more likely look for a move back down. So like a reversal, basically. And I usually wait for price action or indicators to show at this level what's gonna happen. That's the key. And then there's nothing else to do, right? But unless there's this, I won't trade anything. I will just wait. I will go to the beach. I will do something else. I will write articles, do videos, because it's more interesting than waiting and looking at the chart, right? There's no reason to be in the market all day if you're just going to look at the chart and not do anything. And you guys are going to see that pretty much all the pairs, I'll refer back to the comment I've made in the beginning. A guy on my YouTube channel said, the market is high in volume, but low in volatility. And that's exactly what we talk about. The range are tight, they're pretty small, and we're still waiting. One of the things that I was looking to trade possibly is a small break, kind of tiny breakout here on GBP and ZD. I have another strategy for breakout. But as you can see, it's been kind of 2-3 weeks and we haven't broken out of this range yet. So we're still within the range. So it's really tight. And as a decad, I do have a trade on this. It's going back to break even. But again, this is like really tight. And the reason I've had my trade is because of this push on the 0.92 level. I think on the daily chart. This is going to be an example of like how to enter a trade. So we've had these two levels that I was looking at. Basically 0.96 as the top resistance level and 0.92 as the lower support level. We've been bouncing a lot between those two levels right here, again and again. And then we came back down, nice push back above, broke outside the Bollinger Band. And this is a good example of a trade I would take because of the signal here. So I placed the entry above the candlestick, stop loss below the low, reward to risk at least 2-to-1, and 2-to-1 is going to be here. And I'm trying to implement on this thing a different take profit approach that I've been testing out as well. So it's going to be, instead of taking profit at 2-to-1 or 1-to-1, is you enter the trade, you wait for price to come back to the middle band of the Bollinger Band, and when it closes back below, then you exit the trade. But you want the price to go at least 2-to-1 in your favor before you think of exiting the trade. Right? Because if you exit too early, you're not catching the move. It's not trend trading. It's going to be just like a fearful trading. Right? So you have to be really careful with this. But I wait till we go to 2-to-1, which is here. Then I'll look at when price comes back to the middle band of the Bollinger Band. And when that happens, when we close below, I'll exit the trade. I look pretty much every day to make sure. But there's no take profit on this, only a stop loss. And that's how I manage the position. Okay, so now that the review is done, let's go to the beach. Alright, so I've been catching up on these podcasts. It's time to go find a place to eat. And I don't want to eat at the beach, but I'll have to find a place to eat anyway. I didn't tell this to you guys, but the other day when I arrived in Indonesia, I had to book a return ticket if I wanted to get in. I booked the ticket right when I got to the customs. So I had to pick a country randomly. I picked Thailand, which means in a few weeks I'll be going to Thailand. Not sure exactly where, but it's going to be interesting for sure. And that's kind of unexpected. I didn't know I would be going there. But the thing is, you can only stay in Indonesia for 30 days if you're a tourist. So I have to get out, no choice. But I'm just beginning here. It's my first week in Bali, so looking forward to explore more. discover more things and then head to Thailand after that. But in the meantime, I'm also planning to go to Jakarta and see what's up there. And with this, I set up for a place with some music and enjoy the evening.